All right.
Hi.
Welcome, Tati, to our Model Talk podcast of Spotlite.
Thanks.
Very, very welcome. So today we'd like to talk about how your modeling life began in Korea or anything that you like to mention about like industry in here. So please tell us about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Tati. I'm from Russia. How old am I now? 28?
Okay.
You know, I keep forgetting it because like in Korea, you just say your birth year and that's
true,
it.
that's true.
So yeah, it's my 4th year in Korea and I've been modeling for 12 years
12
now.
years. Whoa.
Yeah, so I started not actually in Korea. I started long time ago when I was a teenager. And my first international contract was in Singapore.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. So I've worked mostly in Asian countries. And yeah, that's like about modeling. What else I can tell? I have a puppy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a
okay.
cute Maltese puppy. She's now at home. I like cooking, singing, drawing, painting, hiking.
Oh,
So,
too
yeah.
bad with the toe. I guess you can really hike
I
for a
know.
while. Oh,
I know.
no. Yeah.
This is my friend.
Well, thank you for...
This is so stupid.
It is so sad. I was just like looking at the photo that you sent, like, oh no.
Yeah. You know, like the moment I hit my pinky toe, I was just like, it was really hurting a lot because, you know, even if it's not a fracture, you usually like, you start swearing and
Right.
stuff because it's like, hurts a lot.
Yeah.
But this time it was like another
Really
level
hurt.
because I nearly fainted.
Oh no.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't see anything. And I was like, oh my God, if I like fall down at this very moment, that's going to be too bad. I'm going to get hurt somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I just took a seat. And then the moment I saw my foot, I saw the finger, like the toe being like to the other side.
Oh no.
So yeah, I'm like, what a very nice trauma. Like last year, I had a fracture on my arm. And back then it was pretty okay because I was still able to do shootings. So I would just like, you know, take off this plastic cast for a shooting and then just like during the, I don't know, break time, 쉬는 시간, I would just put it on back.
Right.
But with the food, it's
Yeah.
like the situation is a little bit different. So I had to cancel a couple of shootings.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing about modeling too, that you really have to be cautious about like all
Yeah.
the injuries and everything can be very related to the job.
Yeah. And like in my case, this time, it's not even that I was, let's say, hiking, right? And then I like fell down from the cliff or something like that. No, I was at home and I just hit my pinky toe.
Oh no.
Oh my God. I felt so dumb, really.
Well, I hope
When I
you
came-
get better very
Thanks.
soon. Yeah.
When I came back from hospital, I just like sat down on the floor and I started crying because 속상해서 because I felt so sad about this because like I cannot do anything and I literally should just stay home and stuff, but like here I am today. That was an
Well,
adventure.
thanks for coming. I feel
Thank
bad
you for
now.
having me. No. Because like, you know, it happened just 2 days ago when I
Yeah.
didn't feel okay about just like, oh, hey guys, let's cancel the shooting or something like that. I'm like, no. This one I can't do. I'm just
That's
gonna
true. This
sit
one we can
and talk.
see. Exactly.
That's perfect.
All right, let's talk about your first contract. How did you get casted and how did you start jumping into this modeling
So,
world?
Basically, like I've always been quite tall. My height is 178, which is quite tall for Korea as well.
Yeah,
Like,
I
especially
just saw
for-
you walking in and I was like, oh,
Well, walking.
4 legs today.
Yeah. So I've always been tall and like I remember back in school, you know, back in Russia, I'm from Russia, we have this thing called model school, which is kind of an academy.
Oh, I see.
Kind of hagwon, where like girls and boys, they go there, they pay money, and then they have a chance to become a model. And to be honest, it's just like, I don't know, 10 to 20% who becomes really a model
true.
and goes to a country or something like that. Mostly this kind of modeling school is just a way to make money for modeling agencies in Russia, because we don't really have many shootings in our countries.
Right.
Like, our market is not well developed for that. So they make money through this. And we had a couple of modeling agencies coming to our like schools, and they would tell us about the modeling school and blah, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
interesting.
And I would be like, yeah, sure. Models are dumb, okay? Because I was kind of a nerdy person. And like, they would always look at me and say like, oh, especially you, come and talk to us. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Me? Not going anywhere. Models, they are dumb. Nah. But then I remember one time I was kind of sick, so I stayed home for like a couple of weeks or so. And then on TV, I saw that the America's Next Top Model show. So I was watching that one, and that was so exciting. Like, it was exciting how girls, like models, they change their appearance, how they act on photos. And then I realized that modeling is not just about being pretty and dumb. It's actually about being able to match your look, your outfit, to show the needed mood or something like that. So I became interested in that. Then I myself tried to find a modeling school, because that was the only way to become a model. And yeah, I went through how many months? Like 3 months course, something like that. But on the first week, we had that like casting, international casting for some agency from Italy, as I remember. And they noticed me. They were like, you come here. Okay. And then they told me that I need to lose weight. I was like, oh my God, what are you talking about? You know, all this. And then, yeah, our agency just told my mom that like, hey, you guys need to make a passport. And then just like a couple of months later, I went to Singapore.
Oh, wow.
For 2 months. That was my first contract. I was 15.
15?
Yeah, in international age.
Wow, that's so young to start traveling though.
That was crazy.
Yeah, how was it? Like, because I cannot really imagine going to a foreign country alone for the first job that you haven't done yet. And like, you don't know the language or the people, or like you have to leave the family and the school. Like, how was it?
So I was really, really nervous because I never took a plane before. And I had no idea what to do, like in the airport with all these papers, you know, where to go.
Right.
There's so many people, so much stuff going on around. And my English obviously was not like good enough, you know, I was not fluent. I was a good student, but like I had no practice.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, I spent hours before the flight, you know, like making notes, something like, okay, passport control, then you do this, then you go there, then you do that, then you wait over there.
Well,
and
I
stuff.
can just like start imagining you 15 years old, like try to make a checklist.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was exactly like that.
Okay.
And then, like, the problem was that back in 2012, there were not that many flights. So I had to transfer twice on my way to Singapore.
Wow.
So it was my hometown in Russia, Novosibirsk, to Uzbekistan, Tashkent. Then I had 10 hours transfer at Tashkent. Then 8 hours to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And then in 2 hours, I had another flight to
Right.
Singapore.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, for the first time on getting on the flight, what an adventure!
Yeah, and actually, like, there was a really funny story in Tashkent, which my mom still remembers, and she would, like, you know, point at me with that story every time. So the airport in Tashkent is not really big, and it's not really convenient. Well, like, at least it used to be like that. And back then I still had like a really old phone, you know, like with the buttons and
Yeah.
stuff.
The kind that we press
I'm
instead
so
of
old. Oh my God. And so I also had my laptop with me, and I knew that battery wouldn't, like, you know, it wouldn't be enough battery. So I had to charge everything when I had a possibility, when I had a opportunity to. And so I went to kind of like a cafe, and I put my laptop, I put my phone on charger, and then I realized I need to go to the toilet. But the toilet was on the first floor.
Oh.
So I was like, oh my God, if I pack everything and bring everything with me, it's going to take like at least 5 minutes because I need to put everything back to bags and stuff. But yeah, I just decided, okay, I'm just going to leave it here.
Yeah.
And there was
Wow.
there was a man sitting next to me, like
Okay.
an old man, I don't know, maybe like in his 50s or 60s.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, excuse me, I'm going to toilet. Okay, could you please watch my stuff? He was like, okay, sure, no problem. Then when I go back, I see my phone calling. I pick up phone and my mom crying. She's like, panicking. She's like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm like, what? She's like, why some random man picks up your phone and says, woman, who are you? You know?
That I did not expect that. I thought
Me
someone's
neither.
gonna steal your laptop and the phone. That's the story that I was thinking.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
something else happened. So my mom was screaming at me, and I was like, oh my God, Mom, you need to trust people, okay? So yeah,
Or maybe she was being, you know, like smart and protected. You never know what's gonna happen, right?
And then, yeah, that was actually quite an interesting story. And yeah.
Wow, that's even before you got to Singapore, right? Okay, so when you got into the apartment, what was your thought? Like,
Oh, I was like, I've heard a lot about modeling apartments, like when you go on a professional, right, contract, 2 to 3 months. And like our apartment was not really big. So we had a living room with a sofa and with a table. Then we had a really tiny kitchen. We had 2 rooms for men and 3 rooms for girls.
okay.
Then we had those bunk beds.
Yeah.
And my roommate was 23 years old Ukrainian girl. She was my older sister for the whole contract. She was helping me through
Oh,
everything.
that's so sweet.
And another roommate was a Brazilian girl, just 1 year older than me.
Wow, also very young.
Yeah. She was really like crazy. She would always go party and stuff. She had piercing and everything. She was just like, oh, Tati, let's go party. And I'm like, I don't party. I don't go to clubs. I don't smoke. I don't drink. Okay, so leave me alone. And then I would just like sit at the table, draw something, you know, something like that. That was, yeah. And the kitchen was really tiny. And I remember like the first person to say hi to me after my roommates was like a guy from Czech Republic. He was cooking some pumpkin on the kitchen. And I was like, the girls were showing me around. And so we came to the kitchen. And he was telling me something. I could not understand a single word. I was like, what does he want from me? So I asked the Ukrainian girl, and she was like, he's just asking your name. I'm like, oh my God. That's how bad my English was back then. That was harsh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then we got to the agency. They measured us, took some, fresh snapshots and stuff. They explained about everything, how we're gonna go to castings and everything. So,
Very excited.
I was excited because, for me, actually going to that first contract, I've heard from many models that it's actually almost impossible to make enough money on your first trip because, obviously
you don't have
your
enough
portfolio is not
exactly.
Yeah, you're not well experienced and stuff. So I was not, giving myself high hopes or anything like that. So for myself, I just thought, well, it would be a great opportunity to actually learn the language better, to travel. Like, my family is not, rich, so they cannot pay for me staying somewhere abroad for like 2 months or something
it's really
like that.
cool opportunity.
So, yeah, I was really excited. And the other amazing thing about Singapore, about working in Singapore, was that it's Asia, but like they have a lot of, really high fashion jobs. So they have a lot of fashion shows. They have a lot of, I don't know, like
Editorial
kind of this kind of shootings. Not that many.
Really good for the book.
Yeah, not that many catalogs or lookbooks, but like, they had a lot of good jobs, which were really nice for me as I'm quite tall again. I made my first like really famous brands shows there. They were Salvatore Ferragamo.
Oh wow.
Chanel was also there. What was else? Fendi. Yeah, I still remember how they gave me 3 sizes smaller shoes on Fendi show, and I'm like, are you guys kidding me?
So you had to walk with that
Yeah.
super small.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, do I have to wear this? They're like, yeah, we don't have a bigger size. I'm like, what are you talking about? We had a fitting, okay, in advance. And they're like, so are you wearing this? And I'm like, do I have a choice? They're like, no. I'm like, all right.
How did you even walk?
Well, after 2 hours, I couldn't feel my
of course.
toes like at all.
Oh, now I'm just like thinking of your toes right now, and just like thinking of wearing 3 size smaller.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That was,
Yeah.
So it was really a really interesting experience. I actually didn't want to go back because I saw a new world, like all of a sudden I realized that the world is so huge. There are so many interesting people. There are so many interesting things. There is so much delicious food, like everything.
True, yeah.
So when I was leaving, I was actually crying so much.
The happy cry or sad cry?
Sad.
Sad.
I didn't want to go back.
Oh, because you have to go back.
I had to go back. And when I go back, I had to go back to school and stuff. So I had to go back to normal life,
But becoming like a cool girl. I had like a contract in Singapore. So a big word.
Oh, yeah. Because like for me, that was like something, I don't know, really incredible. Because also back in school, I was a kid who was bullied a lot because like too tall, too skinny, and too nerdy.
And then
look at her.
Now you
She's
walk Chanel.
exactly, But then with Singapore, we have another funny, interesting story. It's about how I went back home.
Okay.
So I had to go back home the same way, like Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Tashkent, Novosibirsk. But my plane from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur was late. It was like delayed for 1 hour and a half. So in Kuala Lumpur, I just had about like 45 minutes to transfer. And the moment I came up to the registration, like to that stand, I was like, hey, I'm flying. And they're like, oh, we are sorry. The plane already took off. I'm like, no, you don't understand, okay? I go from Singapore to here, okay? I need to go back to Russia, to school, right? They're like, no, the plane, it took off.
Oh, no.
I'm like, let me explain you once again. I need to take the plane. And so I was like, so what do I do? they were like, oh, first of all, go and find your baggage at Lost and Found.
Oh no.
So at that moment with that, like old phone,
Yeah.
I try to call my mom. She declines the call and she sends me a message, something like, hey, at school, like at the parents' meeting. So is everything okay? You're on the plane, right? And I'm like calling her again. And she's like, why? I'm like, Mom, I missed the flight. She, like, on top of her lungs, she started screaming like, what? And, she started like swearing at school. I was like, oh my God. She was like, what do you mean you missed the flight? And I'm like, yeah, that's what happened and blah, 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 blah. So then lots of stuff happened and I actually spent 2 days at the airport.
What? At the airport? What?
Because the airlines,
That's
which
a
were
lot to going back home.
Oh, yeah. And it took me much longer, actually.
No.
So the airlines, which was late from Singapore, right, which delayed the flight, it was not the same airlines that I had to take from Kuala Lumpur. So it was 2 different companies. So I would go to one of them and I would explain the situation and I would be like, hey, exchange my tickets or do something about that. I'm underage. I'm in Kuala Lumpur. I have no one here. We have no direct flights to Russia or anything like that. Like, help. They were like, oh, we are really sorry.
Yeah, but there's nothing they
like
can
you're
do.
flying with the other company, so we
right.
cannot do anything.
Yeah.
And they would do that all the time. So they would keep asking me to come to their stand like a couple of hours later or the next morning or blah, 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 blah. And then on the second day at the airport, they actually told me like, oh yeah, we have a flight to Tashkent.
Oh,
but it's
direct?
yeah, like not to Russia,
okay,
but to
okay,
Tashkent.
okay.
So like the same route. But it's in 5 days.
Oh no.
I'm like,
so they really don't have so many flights going. Oh,
it was
no.
once a week.
So did you have to wait?
Yeah. So my brother, he called the agency in Singapore because my mother agency back in Russia, they were really irresponsible. They didn't pick up our phone calls.
Oh my God.
So my brother, he called the agency in Singapore.
Yeah.
He explained them the situation. Thanks God, my brother is smart enough to speak English well. And they gave us contacts of an agency in Kuala Lumpur.
Oh,
So
that's very helpful actually. They try to, you
Yeah.
know, wow, okay.
yeah, so I took a taxi. I went to the apartments. And I had to sleep on the floor because, like, obviously there were a lot of models. So I just had a small mattress on the
This is like
floor.
a real modeling experience.
12 years ago, you know.
Oh my God.
And at that moment, yeah, like at school, they started talking something like, oh, did they take her as a slave or something? As a slave or something? Because back then, people still thought that if you go to work as a model, you become a slave or something like that.
What? Really?
Yeah,
Is that a
so
thing?
they were like, oh my God, somebody kidnapped her.
Yeah,
or
it's
blah,
just
blah,
like,
blah. I'm like,
not
no,
coming
I'm
back."
fine. I just missed my flight, okay?
Yeah, I just have to sleep on the floor. That's all. In Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then like I had to go to the airlines of like company office again and again to explain them the situation, to make them exchange my tickets. And my mother agency, they were like, oh, why don't you stay in Kuala Lumpur for a couple of months? I'm like,
for a
"Are
new
you kidding me?
contract?"
Are you kidding me?
That's
like,
very convenient.
I'm already late for school.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'm like, I'm not in a mood for that. They're like, okay, at least go to castings. I'm like, are you
What?
kidding me? I have to solve this problem. Like, I have to get my tickets exchanged
That's
and
actually
go back to
insane.
Russia.
Yeah.
They're like, no, go to castings. I'm like,
So
Fine.
did you?
I went there.
Oh my God.
So I went there and that was crazy because like the client actually liked me. I know. Yeah.
What? So you missed a flight.
No. Yeah.
Ended up staying in Kuala Lumpur because you didn't have place to stay, and then you ended up going to casting. Did
Yeah.
you get the job too?
Well, like the client liked me and they were like, oh, our job is actually like in 2 weeks, blah, 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 blah. Can you, like, are you free on that date? And I'm like,
No, I gotta go back.
I'm actually leaving in 5 days.
Yeah.
Okay. They were like, oh, then why are you here? I'm like, you go ask my modeling agency. I have no idea. They sent me here. I'm like,
That's
ask
actually
them.
hilarious. Okay,
Yeah.
so after you come back, did you wanted to go back to Southeast Asia for a country? Like, how many countries did you go after?
So the following year, I went to Taiwan
Oh,
as
okay.
well. Yeah, with the same mother agency.
Okay.
But the agency in Taiwan, like, we had not really good relationship with one of bookers. He was really, how do I put it? Like, he would bully girls. Like, he would get our new photos and then he would Photoshop them to make us ugly.
What?
And he would laugh at that. He
Oh,
would
that's
send
so
us
mean.
Yeah, he would send us these pictures and he would be like, look at you. I was like, I'm speechless,
Yeah.
about that one. So, yeah. So it was Singapore, Kuala Lumpur,
That still counts, right?
Taiwan. Then I participated in beauty pageant in China in 2017. And I went to work as a freelance in Hong Kong, in China as well. And yeah.
In Korea.
And now I'm in Korea.
I see.
So, yeah. That's
Wow.
lots of, like crazy stories from contracts and a lot of stuff been going on.
What's the most interesting market to you?
I think Singapore was the best market.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because it's not that they don't have lookbooks or catalogs. They still do, but it's just that they have still enough shows. They have lots of presentations. Like, let's say a new brand shop is opening, right? And you're gonna walk there or something like that. And the payment for shows was not low, actually. It was pretty good because, like, of course, you go for a casting. Then after casting, let's say you go for a fitting and that's another day. Then you go for a rehearsal. Then sometimes, like for Fendi, for example, they also did our makeup and hairstyle rehearsal on the other day. So, yeah, that was like cool market. Because like, for example, in Korea, I never participated in a fashion show here because first of all, it's like the payment is really low, like super low. Like you're gonna go for casting, like do all this
For
like
very
same
little.
stuff,
Yeah.
and then you get paid like 200,000
Yeah.
for like being busy for a few days. I just don't really feel like doing
Right.
that, I think, because like in terms of time it's a little bit. But like what I really like about Korean market is like how they shoot lookbooks here. Like it's really, really
They're
pretty.
good, right?
They are good. And like they don't really do lots of Photoshop. So with lots of like natural light, minimalist style, I love it. Yeah, like pictures can be really good with
So
couple of
on the
nice
shoot,
brands.
do you communicate with them in Korean?
Yeah, I do.
와, 아니, 어떻게 배웠어요?
톡하고.
아 진짜? 와.
그러니까 한국 오기 전부터 이제 원래 모델 하러 오기 전부터 여기 한 5번 정도 그냥 여행으로 왔다 갔다 했는데 그래서 한 2번 왔다 갔다 했을 때 막 여기서 살고 싶은데 근데 어느 나라에서 사려면 그 나라의 언어를 좀 배워야 되잖아요.
맞아요.
그래서 이제 러시아에서 있으면서 대학교 졸업 준비도 하고 러시아에서 그냥 이제 뭐 문법 책 같은 거 사서 교재. 그래서 그거를 이제 독학으로 뭐 공부하고 또 발음 같은 거는 이제 드라마 보면서 듣고 따라하고
와,
더 외우고
대단하다.
그래서 계속 이렇게 공부하다가 이제 이렇게 한국말도 할 수 있는 거죠.
아니, 나머지는 한국말로 할까 봐요. Which one do you prefer actually?
Both are okay.
Oh, really?
It's just
Okay,
that
so we
like
can just
if
like
we
back-
but if we switch too fast, I can get confused. That's what happens.
Actually, I'm the same. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. So like 그러면 약간 촬영장 가면 깜짝 놀라기도 하겠네요. 그렇죠?
그쵸. 클라이언트는 보통 뭐 미리 알고 있는데
그쵸,
왜냐면
그쵸.
미리 뭐 연락하거나
그치.
뭐 이런 거 때문에 괜찮은데 근데 보통 이제 해외 실장님들 막 close your eyes. 그냥 한국말 편안하게 하시면 됩니다. 에? 한국? 어머 어떡해? 알았어. So, 이렇게 되니까 근데 저도 약간
네.
느끼는 게 뭐냐면 한국말 할 때랑 영어 할 때 뭔가 성격이 좀 편한 것 같은 느낌? 왜냐면 영어 할 때 약간 목소리도 아예 다르잖아요.
맞아요. 지금
you
다
speak
다른
English, it's
사람이랑
like-
얘기하는 것 같아요.
근데 한국말 할
It's
때
very
조금
like-
더 부드럽고
Yeah.
조금 더 여성스럽고 약간 조금 더 귀여운 그런 그리고 느껴지는 게 똑같고 그래서 촬영장에서 제가 좀 부끄러울 수도 있거든요. 한국말로 하니까.
하면
근데 영어로 할 때 막 okay guys, yeah, fine, right. 네, 한국말로는
따라서 이렇게 할까요?
네, 알겠습니다. 저 따뜻한 아메리카노. 네, 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
감사합니다. This is like ASMR. 감사합니다.
And in English, it's like, oh yeah,
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, the warm one, please. Because like yeah, thanks.
그러면 그 컨셉에 따라서 if it's like cool or like charismatic concept, then you should just show up speaking English. And when it's like like 여성스럽고 부드럽고 약간 이런 거면 처음부터 한국말로 하면서
아니 원래 이제 둘 다 그냥 처음부터 한국말 하는데 그리고 이제 딱 뭐 찍을 때는 무조건 컨셉에 따라서 하는데
그쵸.
이제 사이사이에 그거 이제 차이가 많이 나죠. 왜냐면
그치.
영어로 하면 그럴 때는 이제 좀 멋있는 막 좀 차가운 스타일이고 근데 한국말로 하게 된다면 뭐 어쩔 수 없이 그냥
감사합니다.
네 감사합니다. 와 저도 강아지 키우거든요. 우리 강아지 귀엽죠. 막 이런
강아지
식으로.
한번 보여주세요. 네.
좋아요. 그러면
그럼 질문.
이거 촬영 끝까지 제가 강아지 얘기만 할 수 있겠네요.
강아지한테는 러시아어로 해요, 영어로 해요, 한국말로 해요?
한국말.
한국말 진짜?
네.
앉아?
여기 한국이니까. 예. 그래서 강아지가 코 앉아 손
진짜?
엎드려.
와.
일로 와.
그러면 강아지
안 돼.
러시아어 못 알아들어?
러시아어로 조금밖에 못
약간
알아들어요.
러시아어로
왜냐면 러시아 같이 갔거든요.
아
강아지랑.
진짜? 그럼
그래서-
가서 약간
강아지가 거기서 막 뭐야 이게 왜 집이 이렇게 크고 사람 왜 이렇게 많고 왜 다 이렇게 시끄럽지? 뭐지? 그래서 강아지가 너무 피곤했죠. 근데
귀여워.
이제 또 사람들 아예 다른 언어를 하니까
그치,
강아지가
그치.
너무 막
뭔가,
뭐야, 이게?
무슨 말이지?
맞아요. 그래서 우리 강아지는 제가
귀여워.
이거 보여드릴게요.
어머나 너무 예쁘다. 이름이 뭐예요?
bonbon.
봉봉? 봉봉? 아 귀여워.
그 포도 음료수 있잖아요. bonbon.
왜 포도 음료수로 이름을 지었어요?
너무 귀엽잖아요. 코코는 너무
많아.
많고
그리고. 맞아.
근데 이제 뭔가 그래도 귀여운 거 하고 싶어서
봉봉.
bonbon.
어머,
우리 bonbon
봉봉 집에 두고 와서 어떡해요? 어머.
지금 혼자 있어요.
보여주세요,
여기
bonbon.
사람처럼 앉았죠.
봉봉?
어떡해. 아이고 여기 그냥 갤러리에서 bonbon이 사진 찍어요. 찾아서
강아지까지 여기 있으면 이제 한국이 집이네요, 거의. 그쵸.
저 여기 앞으로도 그냥 살고 싶어요.
봉봉 얼굴 보여주세요.
이거, 어디?
아,
That's my baby.
귀여워. 오늘 타티와 봉봉이 함께하는
이렇게 할게요. 봉봉아, 소리 쳐. No, she's really cute. 우리 봉봉이는 진짜 성격이 너무 뭐 순하고 너무 얌전해요. 그래서 너무 예뻐요.
강아지랑 같이 하는 촬영도 간 적 있어요?
아니요.
아직은?
근데 뭐 같이는 없는데 근데 제가 봉봉이를 데리고 간 촬영이 있어요.
괜찮아하셨구나.
네.
되게
왜냐면
귀여웠겠다. 거기서도.
애기도 그냥 이제 가방에서 캐리어에서 기다리다가 뭐 지금은 그렇게 자주 데리고 가지 않지만 처음에 이제 집에 데리고 왔을 때 얘가 그때 아직 완전 너무 작아서
애기 진짜.
그래서 집에서 혼자 뭐 있는 거 좀 그랬으니까
그치.
그래서 가방에다가 막 하고 같이 갔죠. 우리
귀엽다 진짜.
맞아요.
그 한국에서는 계속 프리랜서로 하시는.
지금 모델 일도 하고 이제 배우 뭐 연기적으로도 조금 하고 있고 왜냐면 모델 일을 어떻게 보면은 뭐 12년 동안 했으니까 뭐 지금 룩북 찍을 때도 이거 만약에 뭐 그냥 간단한 룩북이면은 다 똑같잖아요.
맞아요.
뭐
네.
이렇게 45도 옆으로 뭐 뒷모습 또 포즈 몇 개만 찍고 근데 이제 연기할 때는 뭔가 훨씬 재밌어요. 광고 찍을 때나 이런 거.
그렇죠. 표현을 해야 되는 게 훨씬 더 맞아요.
왜냐면 또 저한테 뭐 새로운 경험도 생기고 또 얼마 전에 이제 그 퇴사에 있는 것도 뭐 해봤으니까 좀 되게 재밌더라요.
그럼 대사는 한국어였어요? 영어였어요?
영어로.
네.
한국어로는 아직.
네, 그럼 영어로 대사하고 끝나고 감사합니다.
네, 그쵸. 여기 어떤 식으로 말해야 되나요? 뭐 좀 더 뭐 심심하게 뭐 어떻게 할까요? 뭐 타티 씨 이렇게 하시면 됩니다. 네, 알겠습니다. Okay, so.
너무 재밌다. 현장에서도 엄청 좋아하셨을 것 같아요.
네.
그렇죠.
현장에서 되게 재밌어요, 사람들. 저도.
그러면 앞으로는 이제 모델 커리어를 12년 넘게 했으니까 앞으로 목표는 뭐예요?
앞으로는 뭐 모델 일 그래도 뭐 몇 년 정도 더 하고 왜냐면 저도 뭐 너무 뭐 나이가 좀 있어서 모델 쪽으로 보면은 그리고 뭐 모델 일 하면서 연기도 조금 더 해보고 근데 여기서도 제가 또 키가 커서 조금 뭐 그럴 수도 있겠다라는 생각을 들지만 그리고 나중에 이제 뭐 40대 그때는 그냥 그림 그리고 그림 발고 싶어요. 저
그림도 보여주세요. 네.
좋아요. 우리 그림이 어딨지?
그림은 어렸을 때부터 계속 그린 거예요?
예, 그냥 취미로 하는데 근데 시간이 좀 있을 때 이렇게 유화해요.
예쁘다. 이것도 보여주세요. 와.
이거 그렸을 때 이제
와, 어머. 예쁘다 진짜. 봉봉이도 그렸어요?
아직이요.
아직?
범봉이 데리고 왔을 때부터 이렇게 유화 그린 적 없어요. 왜냐면 이제
바쁘니까.
바쁘기보다 이거 집에서 뭐 물감 등등등등등 이렇게 세팅해야 되잖아요. 근데 여름 강아지가 있으면
또 하얀색 강아지가.
그러니까요. 그리고 제가 뭐죠? 수채화? 그 물로 그런 거 있잖아요. 얘가 한 번 제 수채화 물감을 찾았거든요.
어머나.
먹었어요.
어떡해.
그래서 여기 다 막 초록색.
어떡해.
그래서 이용하는 이거 무조건 뭐 그리다가 세팅 그냥 그대로
그치.
남겨서
시간도
뭐
오래
어디-
걸리기도 하고.
그러니까요. 그래서 지금은 잠깐
작업실이
스탑.
필요할 수도 있겠다 그러면.
그죠. 근데 또 작업실 가면 봉봉이 혼자 어떡하지?
그러게. 봉봉 기다려 이제. 몇 시간 동안 기다려야겠네.
지금 간식으로 그런 것도
네.
조금 연습하고 있는데 뭐 간식 주잖아요. 막 봉봉아 기다려. 그러면 조금만 기다리고 뭐 기다릴 수 있는데 근데 제가 안 보는 순간에 바로 먹어요.
봉봉이 이제 아는구나.
근데 저도 뭐 혼내서 어떻게 뭐 할 수 없어요. 너무 귀여워서 그냥 그래 더 먹어.
귀여우면 다
또
용서됐지. 기다리지 마. 그냥 먹어.
귀여우면 다야.
아 재밌다.
네, 그래서 이렇게
네.
살고 있죠.
그렇군요.
또 요즘에 이제 등산에 너무 빠져가지고 그래서
서울엔 또 산이 많잖아요. 그쵸.
그러니까요.
맞아.
네. 원래 이제 9월 말에 북한산도 가려고
북한산
했는데
너무 좋아요. 네.
거기 800 몇 미터인데
저도
가려고
남편이랑
했는데.
일주일에 한 번씩 갔었어요. 한참 빠져가지고.
진짜요?
그래서 처음에는 뭐 2시간 반 걸렸다가 2시간 걸렸다가 좀 더 빠르게 가자 막 이러고.
북한산 계속 가셨어요?
맞아요. When I was fitter. 근데 지금은 힘들어서 못해요. 북한은 너무 좋죠.
가보고 싶어요.
진짜 예뻐요.
근데
그리고.
지금
그니까. 근데
못 가죠?
그거 쓰면 이제 병원에서 다티 씨.
이거 사실
네.
그 뭐죠? 일주일 후에 다시 엑스레이 찍고
아,
수술이
진짜?
필요할지 이제 의사가 말씀.
근데 오히려 지금 추석이라서 사람들 많으니까
그렇죠.
다 나으면 속상해. 어떡하면 좋아 진짜.
살려주세요. 진짜.
봉봉이랑 더 많은 시간을 보내라는.
봉봉이는 너무
봉봉이
행복하죠.
너무 좋지.
막 엄마가 원래 밖으로 나가는
그치.
날인데
뭐 하프데이
엄마가
촬영하고
뭐-
풀데이 하면 하루 종일 없는데. 그치.
맞아요. 근데 엄마가 갑자기 뭐 잠깐만 뭐 나갔다 왔는데 그리고
안
하루
나가네?
종일 하루 종일 나랑 있네.
그쵸.
뭐지? 어제 소고기도 먹였고. 멍멍이 어제 이빨이 하나 빠져가지고.
진짜? 왜?
그래서 저는 아직 빠지니까.
얘는 알겠구나. 아직도.
아직
네.
느려요.
음.
얘 지금 1살 반인데
어머.
원래 그 나이 때 벌써 다
그니까.
빠지잖아요. 근데 얘는 좀 느려요.
우리 애가 좀 느려요.
이 새끼. 그래서 어제 그 이빨이 빠져가지고 제가 그거를 막 보고 너무 귀여워서.
그니까.
근데 멍멍이도 놀래서 빠지는 거예요. 때문에. 그래서 저는 막 멍멍아 소고기 먹을까? 엄마 소고기 준비할게. 그래서 얘 엄청 맛있게 먹었죠.
귀여워. 봉봉이가 신났네.
맞아요.
봉봉이가 신났네.
근데 오늘도 나가니까 멍멍이 막 뭐지?
안 나가는 거 아니었어 이제?
왜 나가?
그니까요.
그래서.
너무 재밌다. 나중에 봉봉이 주제로만 따로 다시 할까 봐요.
좋아요. 저 이거 안 할 때, 먹방이 안 할 때.
그러니까. 데려와요.
좋아요. 그거는 사실 뭐 오늘 비만 아니었으면 오늘도 데리고 왔을 수 있을 건데
그니까.
근데 비가 오니까 목발도 쓰고 여기 우산도 어떻게 잡아야 되는데 저 여기 지하철역에서 치도 보면 한 4분 걸리거든요. 이 건물까지. 제가 30분 걸렸어요.
어떡해. 아유 와주셔서 다시 한번 감사합니다.
아니요. 불러주셔서 감사해요.
너무 재밌었어요. 근데 저희 시간이 이제 저희가 30분까지 해야
오케이.
돼가지고 오케이 그러면 이제 마무리. 앞으로 시작하는 분들께 또 I'm sure there are a lot of 15 years old, 14 years old who are just stepping into the industry. 하고 싶은 말이 있다면.
I think first of all, be aware of your health. So no matter what agency tells you, like, oh, you must be skinny, like, please take like a healthy diet. Don't try to get some, like disorders or something like that. Because like I myself experienced kind of that stuff. And trust me, that's not something fun.
Right.
So watch your health. That's the most important thing. And like as modeling industry is like really, really harsh in the like mentally. You have to like always accept that you're too tall or you're too short, you're too skinny, you're too fat. Your skin is too good, your skin is too bad. Like you're always not good enough in this industry. So just especially like for teenagers who begin the modeling career, just don't really get it too close to yourself. So just like believe in yourself and be healthy and try to stay mentally healthy. Because even though it's quite hard in this industry.
Well said. 봉봉 엄마 말을 잘
그리고
들으시길.
강아지를 키우세요. 말치즈 최고예요, 진짜. 또 얼도 많이 안 파지고 너무 귀엽고
강아지를 키우시면 네, 모든 것이 해결됩니다.
네, 진짜요. 저도 왜냐면 봉봉이를 제가 정신적으로 이제 힘들었을 때 데리고 왔는데 네, 바로 기분이 좋아지고 세상이 예뻐집니다. 진짜 이거 A whole new world, a new fantastic point.
그니까 어제 소고기도 썰어주고.
소고기는 그냥
아깝지
냉동실에
않아.
있었어요. 네.
알겠어요. 오늘 발도 아픈데 시간 내주셔서 너무 고맙고요. 네.
제가 재밌었어요.
네, 너무 재밌었습니다. 다음에 we should do it again.
Oh yes, with bonbon.
Yeah, with bonbon. Okay. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
와.